What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advanced Sports Talk. So, my Buccaneers won. I'm happy. And I realized I hadn't paid any attention to hockey. So, I kind of did a little joint tribute. So, I got used my Flash t-shirt, got a lightning bolt, for Tampa Bay Lightning. Got a red for Buccaneers. So, Lightning's going for the Stanley Cup. They're in the Stanley Cup Finals, so fingers crossed for them. Now, let's get into this football breakdown. Oh my God! Finally, Tom is not there yet, but he's a lot. He played a lot better than he did last week. First off, man, welcome back, Leonard Fournette. Welcome back to the league. That performance was, worthy of your rookie season. I mean, we'll see how it looks when the season goes on. But that's what's up. That is what's up. Now just keep your mouth shut. Fucking around with BA, you might find yourself riding that pine. And for my fantasy team, I need you. So. In any case, man, this game. So Brady found Mike Evans multiple times. Unfortunately, there was no Chris Godwin this game because he was a concussion protocol, and he was eventually ruled out for the game. So yeah, but that's fine. We got depth. We got receiver depth. So. Oh man, the defensive play, fumbles, interceptions, left and right. Oh man, that's that's what's up. That is what's up. That is how that's the potential that Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to just dominate a team like that. And it almost makes me sad that we didn't see this beforehand. McCaffrey got hurt towards the end of the game, so I don't know how severe that injury is, but McCaffrey is basically their offense. I know Robbie Anderson went off last year. I know they still got DJ Moore. Bridgewater's still kind of trying to find his stride as a starter for a brand new team, anything. But in any case, moving on. I'm just gonna stay in the NFC South. Somebody explain to me what the fuck is going on in Atlanta? Oh my God. They played the Dallas Cowboys, and in that game, I don't know what the hell was going on. There was turnovers left and right. Zeke fumbled, Dak fumbled. Dak fumbled, Zeke fumbled. Matt Ryan throwing interceptions. Dak throwing interceptions. What was it? No, it was just Matt Ryan. But yeah, interceptions left and right, and then. Coming down to the end of the game, it was all right, Atlanta was up 20-0. Then Dallas started coming back. In the end, it ended up being 39-30. The Cowboys go down and get a touchdown. So it's a minute and a half left in the game, or under 2 minutes. So they go down and get a touchdown. It's 39-37. They go for an onside kick. They kick the ball, and the Falcons look at it. They just look at it. And it was pretty much just rolling right in front of Julio Jones, and he was just all right, well, now there is some context here. So, the rule of an onside kick is that the team kicking the ball has to wait until the ball has reached 10 yards before they can touch it, and before it becomes a live ball for them to then catch and receive. So the opposing team can jump on it immediately I mean, I'm sure if they was fast enough, they can catch it right off the tee. But yeah, as long as it goes past that that initial starting point, then it's a live ball for the other team, so they can just take it. There was a miscommunication, and I think Dan Quinn had tried to cover for his players, or no, Arthur Blank tried to cover for his players. Dan Quinn tried to throw him under the bus, but because Arthur Blank said that they didn't know the rules, they didn't know that you can jump on the ball immediately. They thought that they too had to wait 10 yards before they could jump on it. And they didn't want to just like jump on it all haphazardly and everything, because if you jump on it the wrong way, the ball slips out and then they could catch it that way. So, or the other team could get it that way. So yeah, so it was a miscommunication. I still laugh though. But in any case, Dallas recovers the onside kick. Drove a little bit down the field, and Greg the Leg kicked a 48-yard field goal. Daggers. That was a dagger. Right in the heart of the Falcons. Oh man. So they so now the score is 40-39 Dallas way. And what was crazy was I was fully prepared to laugh at the Cowboys, but thanks for helping me out, I guess. I don't know. All the criticism that I hear about that game is that nobody wanted to win that game. And after looking at the highlights, I can see why. Staying in the NFC South, the Saints versus the Raiders opening up their brand new stadium in Las Vegas. And man, I don't know if it was because there was no people in there, but it just looked, it looked like art. But no, I'm fucking around. Like, no, that stadium actually looks pretty good. Like, I don't know. I think Jerry Jones might be a little bit jealous, because they got SoFi Stadium and they got this stadium. Atlanta got that new stadium. With Michael Thomas hurt, Alvin Kamara is the Saints offense. Traquan Smith and Emmanuel Sanders, they were nearly non-existent Monday night. Oh, matter of fact, no, I'm lying. It's not just Alvin Kamara. Jared Cook. I think he's already been in that top 10 wide receiver. No, that top 10 tight end range. Looked like it was starting to turn into a shootout a little bit, but Raiders went off. Josh Jacobs. Can we talk about Darren Waller? I'm gonna talk about Darren Waller. And ever since last year, last year, his rookie year, I had a feeling that this kid was special. And man, 12 catches for 103 yards. He was beast. Even though he kind of cost me a fantasy football match because the guy that I was playing against had him, but I don't care. Like, that's, oh my god, that was he was the Raiders' leading receiver, and Josh Jacobs ended up getting 88 yards, no touchdowns, but even still, the Raiders played a fundamental football game, and they ended up getting the win 24-34 in their brand new stadium. That's how you open it up. Thank you for keeping the Saints down. Now we are tied at 1-1, so we have a chance to kind of abolish that loss from last week. The Raiders was always on they was always on the cusp of having a good team. It's just that something would always happen, whether it was that they traded their linebacker or traded their number one receiver away. And no, I'm not talking about Antonio Brown. Amari Cooper, who is now catching passes, lighting teams up for Dallas. So trading away Amari Cooper, trading away Khalil Mack, something would always happen that would set the team back. they're finally on a road to get back. They have a quarterback. They got a set of receivers. Again, these guys they're not necessarily elite, but they're competent. They're competent enough to win football games. So, but fucking Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller, they're going to be elite. And they're going to build the backbone for the team to succeed. So, Jon Gruden, if you somehow watch this, that's your key to success right there. They got the win, 34-24. The Saints are going to be without Michael Thomas for a few weeks. I know he's listed as questionable, but I don't think they can. I don't think we should kid ourselves. He's going to be out for at least another 3 weeks. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a doctor. In any case, moving on. Oh man, San Francisco. Oh man, I talk about leaving it on the field, but I think y'all might have put a little bit too much into this game against the Jets. San Francisco's one more injury away from calling me on the phone. Oh my God. Oh man, Richard Sherman, Jimmy G, Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, George Kittle. Look, almost that whole roster is injured. At least all the big playmakers, the big people that you would know if you don't live in that city. Oh man, that is ridiculous. I mean, despite the injuries, they ended up, 49ers ended up winning 31-13. But oh man, wow man, that's y'all are playing hard. This Corona has really flipped this whole season upside down. Nobody thought that the absence of a training camp and a preseason would actually make this much of a difference. Moving on to Philadelphia. Philly, are you okay? Are you okay, Philly? So, all jokes aside, before anybody starts throwing any batteries, look, I know that there's a lot going on. Fumble on the third play of the game by Miles Sanders. But after that, he played phenomenal. He was hitting the holes, running through everything. But yeah, Wentz still gotta get those interceptions under control. That Rams defense is not a slouch. The Rams defense, they got a lot of playmakers. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. He did a better job this game, I feel, with managing the pressure, but it was still getting to him. He got rocked a couple of times. Man, the offensive line got to find a way to block. I hand it to the Rams. They came out, they played fundamental football. They're running backs. Malcolm Brown and Darrell Henderson. I'm actually surprised that they didn't do anything with Darrell Henderson last year. The Rams, they ended up taking advantage of the turnovers that they were given, putting up 37 points on the Eagles to the Eagles 19. And that's crazy because Goff didn't even play that good during his Super Bowl year. so I don't know. But the Eagles, they have a golden opportunity against the Bengals. So that being said, if they lose that game, then it's time to panic. I'm firmly on the side of throwing out all judgment until week 4, just strictly because we haven't had a preseason and we haven't had a training camp. Alright, so here's a big story. So the Chiefs versus the Chargers. The Chargers with their first home game in SoFi Stadium that they share with the Rams. So 10 minutes before the game started, Tyrod Taylor was diagnosed with chest pains, or he was experiencing chest pains, and it was so severe to the point where he couldn't go at all. Therefore, thoroughly screwing up one of my DraftKings lineups. So, Justin Herbert was notified that he was the starter, and he came out, and for the time that he was given, he played good. He played great. That's how you know that he was paying attention in practice. So He came out and ended up throwing for about 300 yards, for over 300 yards. Matter of fact, he even managed to score the first touchdown of the game on a quarterback sneak. You know, he threw one interception, but you know, hey, he's a rookie. He's gonna do that. But yeah, still to put on that amount of to put on that performance against the Chiefs, man, that was very impressive. The Chiefs, you already know, they're the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes came out. He got his 300 yards. He got his 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill got his catches. He's a leading receiver. But yeah, man, that was very impressive of a rookie to come out and do that. And they held the Chiefs to 23 points, which is unheard of. Well, it is kind of heard of, but you know. Yeah, so in any case, Chiefs won 23-20. Buffalo Bills at Miami. And Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is continuing this love affair, man. This is ridiculous. Josh Allen came out, threw for 400 yards, got 4 touchdowns. 153 of those yards went to Stephon Diggs and 1 touchdown. Ryan Fitzpatrick must have heard what I said last week about Fitzmagic failing, because he came out and threw for 328 yards and 2 touchdowns and threw no interceptions. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough. But this was a very close game as the Buffalo Bills won 31-28, staying in the AFC East. Cam did not win this week, sadly, but he put up yet another good performance. Once again, not a lot of passing, but lots of rushing. 2 rushing touchdowns. Julian Edelman played his best game ever. Matter of fact, I think he even played his best game ever with Brady. Since Brady, actually. So almost had 200 yards receiving. Once again, Cam Newton leads the New England Patriots in rushing with 47 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown. When it came down to a last-second drive, Cam Newton from the 2-yard line attempted to run it in, but he was stuffed. Actually, I think he was stuffed, chop block, whatever it was. He was stopped. He did not make it in. He ended up doing a flip and ended up landing about a yard short of the goal line. And it was such a heartbreaker because they drove down to get that. You know, they drove down to try to get that. But Russell Wilson played. I mean, Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. You know, you really only start to question his playability later on in the season. Right about now is about the time where, you know, he starts to, you know, he's gonna make that case of, you know, throwing his name in the ring with for MVP, for league MVP. And then it'll start to trail off later on in the season. In any case, yeah, he threw for almost 300 yards and had 5 touchdowns. DK Metcalf is really taking over that number 1 role from Tyler Lockett. He had 92 yards rushing. 92 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. Chris Carson, 72 yards. This was a very explosive game. Moving on to NFC North, you got the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. Identical quarterback play from both quarterbacks. 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. Only difference is Matt Stafford threw an interception. I don't know if that interception was actually the difference in the game, considering that Green Bay stomped them 42-21. Okay, this is a bit odd. So I know Aaron Jones gets his stats, but this man is greedy. He led the team in this game in both rushing and receiving with 168 yards and 2 touchdowns, and 68 yards receiving with 1 touchdown. Oh man, Aaron Jones. And second was MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you know, with 64 yards. But yeah, like I said, they whooped them. They whooped them bad. AP is still running though. Still running. Keep hope alive, man. I'm hoping that you get through this season healthy. All right. New York Giants versus the Chicago Bears. In any case, this is a low-scoring game. I know the Bears got a good defense, but I don't know where the Giants came from. The Bears ended up winning 17 to 13. The Giants already are missing Saquon. You know, they had Dion Lewis come in. I didn't even know they signed Dion Lewis. We'll see how he develops back into being a starter, you know, going forward. You know, he where was he last year? I don't know. I can't remember. I know he was with the Patriots, so I know that he can fulfill a starting role. David Montgomery is coming along nice, developing into a dual threat. Yeah, once again, just like with Aaron Jones, he led the team in this game in both rushing and receiving. This kid's special. Bears came out on top, 17 to 13. Minnesota Vikings versus the Indianapolis Colts. And I think Phillip Rivers was waiting for this game because the Colts went off. The rookie Jonathan Taylor, yeah, he wasted no time, you know, picking up the torch from Marlon Mack. 26 carries for 101 yards. Not bad, not bad. We'll see how you do it as the league goes on. Mo Alley Cox led the team in receiving for 111 yards. Rivers is doing his thing. Still managed to throw one interception though. I don't know. I'm just gonna chalk that up to the offense. They ended up winning, so hey, what do I know? Colts won 28 to 11. All right, Denver Broncos versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. First off, Drew Lock, the most up and down quarterback ever, was hurt, and now the team is led by Jeff Driscoll. I don't know anything about the guy. This too was also a close game. Steelers ended up winning 26 to 21. Ben threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. We'll keep an eye on that because, you know, it's early in the season. James Conner, I guess he thought he was hurt when he was hurt last week. So now he's he came back, got 100 yards rushing. Melvin Gordon not far behind at 70. Deontay Johnson led the Steelers in receiving, and Noah Fant for the Broncos. Oh man, AFC South matchup. Jaguars versus the Titans. Ryan Tannehill. Man, all I see is touchdowns, left and right. Man, this is crazy. Ryan Tannehill threw 4 touchdown passes. Gardner Minshew threw 3 with 2 interceptions. Jaguars rookie James Robinson ran for 102 yards and got 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry, 84. No touchdowns. That's not like him. However, Jonnu Smith, who from what I understood was actually not even listed as the starter coming into this season, he's really picked it up. You know, he's really picked up that torch and ran with it, literally. Like, oh man, like he's leaving everybody in the dust. As close and as explosive as this game was, the Titans ended up winning 33 to 30. Once again, I didn't talk about I talked about the Thursday night game towards the end of the video. Cleveland Browns at Cincinnati Bengals in the Battle of Ohio. The Browns beat the Bengals 35 to 30. This was a case of, oh man, Joe Burrow, he might be the real deal. I mean, he was drafted first overall. You know, everyone was real skeptical about the fact that he was drafted first overall, but you know, like this second game in a row, he's actually played to his potential. But you know, I don't know if this is just a case of the fact that it's just a team, but you know, they can't seem to pull out that win. The last 2 games that he's lost by a combined total of less than 7. You know, less than a touch. So that's 2 games where a touchdown would have made the difference. Nick Chubb went off 124 yards, ran in 2 touchdowns. Odell Beckham Jr. He got 74 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. Yeah, he can now go home and celebrate a big old dump on his chest. Nah, I'm messing around. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, Browns won 35-30. And last, most certainly not least, Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. Caught myself. I almost said Oilers. I'm proving my age, but in any case. Yeah, the Ravens versus the Texans. Man, Baltimore steamrolled them. Oh man, it's not even a joke. Yeah, 33-16. The Bills' only hope was Brandon Cooks, who was their leading receiver. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Well, it's the Ravens defense. With the Ravens defense, you need another star. Somebody may have been considered a top three receiver in the league, but y'all traded him. I don't think that DeAndre Hopkins deal is looking too good right about now. But, David Johnson's coming along. I've actually seen a name that I haven't seen in a while. Gus Edwards. I forgot he was still on the team. All of Baltimore's running backs got sufficient rush attempts. They got sufficient touches. Gus Edwards had 70 yards. Both Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins had about 50 yards apiece. I think one had 52, the other one had 48. Baltimore's rolling. I hope they don't go too hard in the midseason, in the regular season like they did last year, and then ended up burning out in the playoffs and they weren't ready to play. But in any case, I am a Bucks fan, but hometown pride. I would love to see a Bucks-Ravens Super Bowl, but it's too early. But I'm gonna throw that out into existence. So that'll do it for this episode of Advanced Sports Talk. Week 2 of the NFL. The NFL season is in the books. In the midst of this fucked up 2020. Oh man, Corona. So we got college football panel coming. That's coming. Y'all stay tuned for that. In any case, my name is Advance, and I will always continue to be. Go Bucks. Go Lightning. I'm out.